Hello, hello, hello. We are here. We are here. We are here. Welcome to Tina Speaks, and this is Tina Michelle. This week we have a real special show. We're about to talk about something that already happened, Social Media Week. We had such a good time that week, though it was definitely a challenge, I will say that. When we first found out that we were going to do Social Media Week, probably in June, I thought to myself, oh, this will be great. A friend of mine, Kevin Clark, gave me a call and said, I want to do this thing, Social Media Week. I said, okay, no problem. Didn't know that we'd be jumping through so many hoops just to be even considered a venue with Social Media Week. Crowdcentric LLC out of New York has been doing this venue worldwide for the past 5 years. And there are several countries online, several journalists, several bloggers all over the world queued for this week to talk about all things social all day long. So what I decided to do, of course, being me, true to fashion, I wanted to make social real. I wanted to show real results, real people, real action, and how we can connect through social media and create community. And that's what we did, except instead of doing a 1 hour, 2 hour event that most people sort of do, I sort of did them like every day, like every single day. I just wanted to make sure that we had a conversation of transformation going on, and it was a perfect opportunity to showcase some of the people I love and adore that whole week who are bringing real change on the ground. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do social media in review, and I have the best bird's eye view perspective that I can possibly get in the studio with me. That's Robert Z. Zubiev, photographer, videographer. Sometimes he was my relaxation pill, so I would calm down. He's in the studio with me, and we're going to get his perspective of what he saw during that week of chaotic event planning by yours truly, Tina Michelle. We'll be right back. Let people know this is what we're doing, and just to let my friend Adrian Ashley know, I did not forget your birthday, boo. Happy birthday. Love you. Love you. We'll be right back.
From the moment I laid eyes, as sure as the sunrise, you're making my soul fly. And gotta get you next to me, and gotta get your breath on me. See how I'm feeling now, I can't get you out, and there ain't no doubt. Deep inside you make me high, deep inside you make me sigh. Could this be insanity, or is it just a dream? How you give me free. Don't ever wanna sign up, don't ever wanna wake up. Could you turn me inside out, make my heart shout, make me screaming loud, yeah. Yeah, you make me crazy, I kinda like this crazy. Would you drive me crazy? You might be the one to save me. Would you drive me crazy? The way you love is so amazing. Your gaze is driving me insane. I can feel your forethought kaleidoscoping with your telepathic key. My body's distorted, open to your vision rhythms, making colors rise as you raid my thighs. And I'm caught up in this concave convex of your complex, reflecting nothing but the best and only. You can salvage this love that's made me savage when your heartbeat set my crazy. Would you drive me crazy? You might be the one to save me. Would you drive me crazy? The way you love is so amazing. This thing you got is make me a mess. As you pull me to your chest, I'll be your very best. I'll be your dream catcher, I'll be your time bender, I'll be the best damn lover that you'll ever remember. Would you drive me crazy? You might be the one to save me. Would you drive me crazy? The way you love is so amazing. Would you drive me crazy? You
Isis, IamIsis.com. Crazy. That's from her former project. I love this chick. She is off the chain. She is my soul sister out there in Brooklyn doing her Afro punk. And we played her single, her new single, Free, during Social Media Week, because it is about social and personal freedom. So as we sit here today and do a social media review, we got a phone call here from the beautiful Priscilla. Now, I worked in this name for 4 days. Val-de-Julie. Is that a name?
That is a name.
Val-de-Julie, the beautiful valley, or Val-de-Jolie, right, Priscilla?
Julie, very good.
Yes, I had to
Sister
work on
girlfriend.
it because, I know that she's Boricua, and when I saw the word, it was French, so it just didn't associate. So I had to think of, okay, beautiful valley. She's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
We're
I think abuela and abuelo. Well, I know abuelo for a fact. It was from the northern region of France, so that's the name. But I am Boricua 100%.
and we all know this. And of course, we have the wonderful Robert Z, who actually journaled the entire week through photography and video. And the poor baby got a cold. He had a bug afterwards because I wore him out.
He's amazing. He is just amazing. I love his energy. I love his talent. He's just amazing. He's a breath of fresh air.
Yes, got it done. And then, of course, Mr. Ryan. We had Mark in the beginning of the week and Ryan knocking it out towards the end of the week. Our engineers. Love them, love them.
Yay, Marco and Ryan.
And Ryan did a wonderful, fantastic job just hanging with me. I mean, really, when I think about how many hours I actually sort of ran my mouth, I think I hit my word quota for life. I'm okay. Never have to do another show. Not one more. I hit my word quota for life. But it was a lot of fun, and it was a very ambitious venture. And what's true about doing something like Social Media Week is that you have to understand the communities that you're talking to. Crowdcentric has successfully, organically have grown this venue around the world, bricks and mortar as well as digital, for 5 years, Crowdcentric LLC. And Kevin Clark from Dakar said to me, Tina, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, fine. Not realizing it was like pushing a boulder uphill it was really like pushing a boulder uphill. Just to get the venues approved, it was difficult. We were dealing with systems. Probably a lot of people weren't really realizing that we were dealing with full school systems in order to approve venue. And then I decided to do like 5 days of it, and sometimes completely different moves, different phases. So we'd be in studio, then we would go to a live venue. Be in studio, go to a live venue. So you hung with me.
Yeah, it was a little hectic at times, but it was a great experience, and it was. I always like that the goals were met, the deadlines were met, and it was a great experience, and it was a great week.
Yeah, it was a wonderful week. We have, and Priscilla was with us also, and we're going to put her on in a minute to talk about her experience. But I want your summary of, I mean, you've worked with me for a while now. That was intense, right?
I feel like all for the time I've worked with you, it was built up for that week, because it seems like everything, all the skills that I had and that I can provide needed that week. Okay, pictures, video, running this errand, thinking off the top of your head, adapting to a situation.
People management, attitude management. I mean,
Yes.
your background is social works, which most people don't know, that you've actually had to sort of manage a bunch of very spirited teenagers in living situations. So sometimes dealing with grown folk, you're dealing with the same thing. Very
Yes.
spirited and attitudes and mood swings, the whole thing. So it takes a lot of work sometimes to adapt quickly. And that's one
Yes.
thing I really appreciated about you, because there were times where I just had to keep moving. I just had to say one word, and keep going. And then there were times I literally stopped and had to,
Yeah.
center myself and meditate, because everybody was flipping out, and I don't participate in that. And then there were times where I was just like, I'm sleepy, tired. The end, lights out.
But you handled yourself very professionally, efficient, and caring. I mean, a very there was no consistency in the week as far as like you said, there was that event or there's a radio show. We're dancing this day. Okay, now we got a red carpet. So there wasn't nothing like, okay, today's gonna be like tomorrow or it's gonna be like yesterday. Everything was different, and you were able to adapt and change seamlessly. I mean, I could see a little bit behind like the deep breath part, but as far as how it was out there from what everybody saw in the end product, flawless.
Oh, thank you. You know, I couldn't have done it without certain people in the space that really had my back. RMCOnAir.com, Roscoe's Media Center, Larry Witherspoon, my executive producer, who, when I sort of concoct things in my little brain, he actually lets me do it and then figures out a way to let me do it. And I watch his head go, oh, man, it's not going to be little, is it? You're a bit of an overachiever, so it's going to be other. It's going to just be other. Yeah, it was other. So I thank God for his ability to be just as flexible as I am in certain spaces. And I know I'm not easy because I just want it done yesterday. I'm from New York. Yesterday. So, and also Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, the Pitbull Energy Beverage Company, Pitbull Racing, Pitbull Boxing. I mean, those were all the venues and the forces of the venues that were there.
And thank God for Pitbull, because I needed that energy boost a lot of
That's
times.
right. Kept us going all week long. But I thank God for it because they gave me venue where a lot of people kept saying, well, we haven't nailed the bricks and mortar. Guess what? I never had to worry about nailing bricks and mortar because we have these venues and we have these great engineers they're on top of their game. They're always learning and developing. And then, of course, when we were not here, we were in other places.
Yes.
And they were very gracious to the best of their ability for the things that we wanted to do, which were not small. So in this social media and review week, we started out on Monday.
Yes,
right?
meditation.
Yeah, that was the first thing I wanted to do. And Priscilla, what were your thoughts on Meditation Monday?
You know, the thoughts were several. I meditate. I don't meditate as often as I should, but how important it is to be part of body, mind, and spirit, to relax, to regenerate, to just, settle down your brain, settle down your thoughts. And this is done through meditation. Meeting both Randy and Nestor were just a treat.
Yes.
And, refocusing on that we are, you are an amazing example. You're on, what is it, that little thing that the little animal goes around?
Merry-go-round?
Like a gerbil wheel?
Like a gerbil wheel.
Oh.
You are
Hamster wheel.
You are on a gerbil wheel. You're always going.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing to help facilitate and bring us back into the zone is, meditate. You can do that 5 minutes. You can do it
free.
in the studio. You can do it on a chair. You can do it in your car. Well, don't close your eyes when you're driving.
No meditation and no hypnosis while driving. It's bad for other operators.
But it, it was a very beautiful event show, and I loved it. I loved that I was part of it. Thank you.
I think we have a picture up of Nestor Perez now. Is that true, right? Nestor Perez and I were partners in one of our mastery level coaching classes. It was called Influence and Integrity for Leaders with Dr. Jeannie Laborde. You remember Dr. Jeannie?
Yes.
And she is such a wonderful, delightful person, and influence-integrity.com is her site. And she invited me up. She came down and she did an interview with us, and she was just so filling. She's like a big nutritional morsel of sustainability for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. So I went up to her facility in Palo Alto through the invitation of David Traub, and I had such a beautiful time. But we were doing coaching exercises together, talking about integrity, getting down to your core self, and it was so much fun to actually not be teaching that class and being in the class.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And Nestor was there in the first class. So with Nestor in the class, him and I just connected. He is such a pure spirit.
I definitely enjoyed his energy because I had a little conversation with him outside, and I mean, easy to photograph, on the photography standpoint, but just his energy, and you feel the peace from him.
He has so much peace, and we had a moment where he really had an intention to be healed in his body. Now, meanwhile, this is a person that when he was not feeling well himself, the Dalai Lama called on Nestor as a healing practitioner. And there was something going on in Nestor's body because he's transferring all this healing. And I said, well, just have it for yourself. And he thought about it, and he's like, well, when you get older, Nestor's almost 50 years old.
Wow.
He's almost 50 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
He looks like he
you
was
saw
30.
that picture. The guy doesn't have.
He looks like a
wrinkle.
baby because his
Oh my
spirit is so
God.
pure and his heart is just so wonderful. And I said, you don't have to deal with that just because you're aging. And he said, you're right. And do you know, the arthritis in his hands from doing all that work is gone.
Wow.
So he had his experience. We just fell in love with each other that weekend from a very giving humanitarian standpoint, and he's very focused on teaching peaceful mindfulness to young people and working with Richard Branson and David and Chris Traub to that end. So I said, you have to come down to the studio for an interview. He's like, I'm practically a monk. I pray and meditate all day. I know nothing about these things, Tina Michelle. And I'm like, well, you may not know anything about these things, but the whole world needs to know about you because you teach meditation from a very practical standpoint. And most of the time it's some esoteric euphoria, that's vapor-like, which our natural inclination is to find a center for ourselves, some place to be. And we're looking out here to be this through our car, this through our clothes, this through our jewelry. But really, it's that God hole in your heart. That's where your core and your center is. And we had that conversation. Now, the other beautiful woman that was in the studio with Nestor is the beautiful Randy Tarrant of ProjectHappiness.com. I'm so proud to call these people my friends, but also because of Dr. Jeannie Laborde of Influence-Integrity.com. She was in a class. And her documentary was so, oh my gosh, beautiful. Every time I watched it, I cried. She took 25 young people who had sadness or some kind of troubling emotional impact in their life, and she took them to meet George Lucas. Why? Because there was a young man named Luke who compared the Jedi Code to Buddhism.
We're not going to say anything about the boy being named Luke.
It was just one of those things. And we're like, did you plan it? She's like, no, I didn't plan it. But the guy did, the young man named Luke did write about the Jedi Code and talk to George Lucas about it. What a great interview that was, just on the documentary. And then she goes, wouldn't it be neat if they could actually do the other comparison with the Dalai Lama himself? Well, she works as a documentist for Skywalker Ranch as well as the Dalai, and was able to arrange that and brought these children, these young people, to meet the Dalai Lama. Their journey, living together, traveling together, eating together, coming into communities, sharing stories, coming from Nigeria, coming from India, coming from America, and being in the same quarters for periods of time. They learned so much from each other. It was so beautiful. Ryan, I believe we have a caller on the line. Actually, the person just stopped. I think it's Adrian Ashley. If that's you, Adrian, don't forget. I didn't forget you. The happy birthday girl. And we're about to talk about your butt in like 2 shakes. So you need to get ready, get ready, get ready. So that was our Meditation Monday. And what I loved about starting our week with Meditation Monday, whereas a lot of people are probably doing motivational speaking, talking about Twitter and all those great tools that I love so much and probably chronically addicted to and need to sit on someone's couch about, we got to meditate and talk about meditation and spread this sort of mission that Crowd-Centric had for the year, which is being connected. We're all connected. So we thought about the countries that were involved, the children, the adults, the businesses, the philanthropy, the lives that needed to be saved in those countries that were represented, and we were able to send out like warm fuzzies.
And the thing I'd like to share about that particular show is usually, I'm walking around, I'm taking pictures, so I'm kind of in and out. And then especially that particular week, I was having to email the pictures out almost immediately. But that show I've gone back to and listened to twice. Like I usually just have it playing on my laptop when I'm either cleaning or if I'm working on some other pictures or whatnot. But it was a real good show. I really that's one of my favorite ones thus far.
That's far.
It's in my top 3.
It's in your top 3. That says a lot because he comes from, and he has to watch a whole bunch of shows from different perspectives. So yeah, I enjoyed it myself. It was very filling. It was very apropos show to start the week with.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to just start and just go, and I wanted to be in flow. So it had the thermostat for the week had to be set and flow.
Rooted.
It was rooted. It made everything easy. I figured, after this point, whatever's not done is just not done.
Correct.
Whatever will be, will be. I'm not going to trip. I'm not going to sweat it. I just know we're going to have a fabulous social week, and I would be remiss to not mention Doreen H. Wong. Doreen. She's my social mistress, and she was on it. I mean, Google Hangouts, everything
Yes.
that we did, and then she was tweeting, Facebooking, getting the pictures up, making announcements, and I think she said we had, several thousands of % increase in influence during Social Media Week, which is awesome. And having a meeting today, just really tracking the analytics on it was very peculiar. You know what we found out? People use social media for personal stuff. It's not necessarily a commercialization of media. How did we find this out? We kept having people, we wanted people to like the fan page or the Facebook page, right, of
Right.
Tina Speaks radio show. They didn't. But they went to my indigenous, well, they did. I won't say they didn't. They increased. But they went to my indigenous communities, the communities that I have real conversations in, like the Black Business Owners Network, the Watchman Ministry, Watchman on the Wall Ministry pages, Black Empowered Music. The notable increase in the Black Business Owners Network is just one example. Our group, we went from 14,000. No, I'm sorry, I keep saying 14,000. We went from 11,500 and something to about 17, almost 18,000 by Friday.
Wow.
And they were all clicking on social media stuff, but they were not doing it from my fan page. They were doing it from my personal page. So they would come from my personal page, they would share it like crazy on my personal page, and come back to the Black Business Owners Network, where that was almost like my meetup center. Oh, I know her from being a community leader within the Black community. I know her from being a spiritual leader within the Christian community. They didn't go to the Tina Speaks show.
Because they wanted to know you a little bit more.
I
They
thought
really
it was
wanted to
actually a
see.
beautiful
Yeah.
analytic. It was a real analytic about social impact that we increased between 4,000 and 5,000 in 5 days because people just wanted to connect. I love it. I mean, it's over 1,000 on the Watchmen, Black Empowered Music. We had over 2,000. The Black Business Owners fan page itself, they had an increase of over 2,000. So these are our indigenous, and then women's empowerment and all that other stuff. We had increases there, but not as notable as the BBON group. So I wanted to mention that because Doreen, you are the social media queen, and the combination. I didn't mean to rhyme. That was sort of corny, right? The combination,
Dr. Seuss of you.
the combination of Robert and Doreen working together, you taking the pictures, sending them out, boom, 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 boom. She's posting them like crazy. It was like, first of all, it's so exciting to me. I don't care how tired I was to know that we're talking about something that the whole world is now able to participate in at the click of a button.
Mm-hmm.
That was just sexy. That was just some sexy stuff right there. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with our Tuesday. And we're going to have to push through this week, but we had so much fun on Meditation Monday. Tuesday was awesome, and unfortunately, my beautiful Priscilla was not there on Tuesday, but she was there on Wednesday, so she'll be able to talk about Women's Wednesday. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on Tina Speaks with Social Media Week in Review. Okay, Ryan doesn't want to stop the song. He's sitting here jamming to Lindsay Hundley and Lady Jazz. This is the CD. I got to meet Lindsay right before Social Media Week. We did a private taping with her at the Seabird Jazz Lounge. You got to go check them out. That was one of our venue sponsors during that week, seabirdjazzlounge.com. But that little girl is bad. Bad, bad, bad. I had such a good time with her, but we're not going to talk about that right now. I'm hoping that my lovely friend Adrian Ashley would call in because we're about to talk about you, girl. We're about to talk about you. We had so much fun with her. She came in actually on Monday to see her Shane Sparks. Shane Sparks started a show here on rmconair.com probably 2 weeks before Social Media Week.
Right.
And I was at home in Arizona, and my executive producer gives me a call and says, could you please call in and wish him hello? So I'll do better than that. I'll post it on my Facebook page, where my Facebook friend and TV host sister, Adrienne Ashley, the host of the F Word, F for female, y'all, okay? Female, y'all.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, she does a lot of important female issues. Her show is great. Great. She chimes in and she goes, are you kidding, Shane Sparks? I'm like, Shane Sparks. I love Shane Sparks, Tina. I'm like, really? Well, his show is starting right now. Say hello to him. She's like, you're lying. If you're lying, I'll hate you forever. You're lying. I'm like, just call in. Here's the phone number. Just call in. And she's just like, I can't believe that he's actually on the air. I'm like, girl, just take the phone number and call him. She calls him, tells her story. That about, a few years ago, she was on I Know What You Did Last Summer, the second one, and injured herself and found herself not being able to walk. And she started to watch the show that Shane judges, I believe is America's Best
Dance Group, ABCD.
Yeah, America's Best Dance Group. I know him as a bad choreographer and a great personality. I love me some Shane Sparks. Just as a person, he's a great personality. He was bought here by Easy Way TV, Eric Zuley, as a partner to the network. And that was his first show. She calls in, she freaks out, and then she types on Facebook, I want to be his baby mama. I thought it was so cute, but she was like so serious that she's in love with him. She said, Tina, you don't get it. On my bucket list is to dance with Shane Sparks at least once in my lifetime. If I didn't watch that show, I probably wouldn't have kept working out, conditioning my legs. She was a dancer. She danced jazz and salsa. She never did hip hop. So she's like, he made me just want to move. He just did. He's on my bucket list. I'm like, okay. She's like, what do you mean, okay? She's like, I said, you wanted to dance with him, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. She's like, okay, I'm telling you again, if you're joking with me, I will hate you forever. She said, I'm coming in for the Emmys. Okay, it's a done deal. Let's meet. She comes in that Monday. She gets on Shane's show, which was great. She was all giddy about that. But that Tuesday, I had the meet up, and she had her own private hip-hop lesson with Shane Sparks. I think we have a video for that. Can we cue the video a little bit? We can't cue the video? Okay. But we do have some beautiful photos of them in the dance lesson. They were so cute. And I know there were some times that Adrian had him blushing a little bit, just a little bit, because she is a bona fide trip. She is a bona fide trip. But what I loved about it, again, is that we had an opportunity through the show to make a dream come true. Adrian always wanted to dance with Shane. Little did I know. So I can't take all the credit for that at all because, it was serendipity. It was God setting up a set of scenarios for someone's heart to be filled and for someone to know that God is actually really thinking about you. I couldn't have set that up. I didn't know that was her bucket list person, So we started to chat and talk about different things that can happen. And I think we're going to have some great other projects that we're going to be doing together with Adrian. But Shane and Adrian dancing together, I don't even know what to tell you. What did you think about that, Robert? You got to shoot the whole thing.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I shouldn't say this, but I was extremely surprised on how well she could dance. I mean, she was like getting
She was
it.
a professional cheerleader at one point. I mean, that chick was bad.
But no. There's like dancing and you could dance. So like she was getting it, like with the accent, like she was getting it. And she was like, and especially I got there maybe 5 minutes late, and they already had a good 5 or 6 steps, and she just caught on so quick. and she was like, he would say, okay, we're going to do this little turn this way, that way, and she just got it.
Oh gosh, oh
Yeah.
gosh.
She was good.
She's good. I think we have a little clip. It's cute because Ryan is Brill and
Yes.
Robert had it edited and ready to go. So this is the power of team, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna see what do we sing? Set us up.
Let's see. Right now, we should be seeing the clip of. First is going to be. I think it's her talking about her experience a little bit, and then they're going to actually see the routine that within an hour she got.
Okay. Oh, Adrian, I wish you were watching because you're on air. Go ahead. Randy's gorgeous. They're on your website.
What up? Oh my god, that was so much fun. We just finished making my dream come true for my bucket list, and the fabulous Tina Michelle made it all happen. And this is the amazing Shane Sparks from West.
I cannot believe how hot she was. Oh, that's a picture of the beautiful Priscilla Valdejulie right after that. But, I mean, she was so hot. I almost want to see it again because she is like fire. Adrian, Ashley. But, you know, she got it.
That's what I mean. It's like smooth, and then she had, you could, the clips that I took out and just couldn't use. I mean, she was doing some like a couple times when she was coming down, she was doing like the Michael Jackson Beat It type moves. She was doing like some cheerleading moves. I mean, she's talented. I give her much respect.
She's talented, and you know the Emmy Association recognized that also this past year. So congratulations for taking your walk on a red carpet, darling. But she's fabulous. I love her. I feel like sometimes you find these sisters in life, and she's one of them. And her energy is crazy. We had lunch with her after.
Yes.
I love her. She's over there in Reno. We're gonna go hijack her joint next time.
I mean, and it's again a compliment for you for making solving or helping someone with something on their bucket list. I mean that
through social media. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that was
posted
great.
on Facebook, and she responded, and then we were streaming here on RMC On Air, and she called in, chatted in, said some things that made the black man blush.
And me too. Me
Did she
too.
make you blush?
Yeah, sometimes it's
She's a trap. She's a bona fide trap. But I love her. Her energy is great.
Yes.
But that was all social media, right? Just like we had people in the Google Hangout on the Monday before doing, learning about meditation. Now they learned what it feels like to have your dream come true. I mean, that's
Right.
really basically what happened. Her dream came true. That was on her bucket list. I love that.
And the other thing is she was brave enough to
Oh,
go
she
for
went
the
for
dream
it.
instead of just saying, "Oh, I want to do it. Never mind, I'm scared." She actually went with it, and
She went for it.
full heart.
It was hot. And so now we're going to fast forward a little bit till Wednesday before we take our break. Women's Wednesday. What can I say? We had a group full of women in this room. We had Priscilla, who is still on the line, and that's a pretty picture of her. You guys are looking at that is the beautiful Priscilla Valdejulie.
You're getting better at it, Mama.
Valdejulie.
Julie.
That's the beautiful Priscilla sporting her hot hat and her little fringe top.
I took the picture.
She took the
How
picture.
can I see this? I see it.
Oh my God, Priscilla.
I'm
RMCOnAir.com.
not into this technology thing, so I gotta learn. I gotta learn.
You gotta learn, especially because your show launched yesterday here on RMC On Air, Mission
Yay.
Nutrition. Yes, with Priscilla. So maybe you should figure out how to watch it. You think? I love you. So Wednesday we had Shelly Hunt, which was amazing. Shelly is just such a beautiful heart, a beautiful love via Skype. In the studio, we had Priscilla, we had Diana Price, who has a show here also, Spicy Business with Diana. Who else was here? That was it. Right? No.
Was it the food?
I can't forget what really happened in this piece that people lost their minds over. It was Roscoe's at Home launch. We
Yes.
showed the Roscoe's at Home product for the first time, and we're trying to see if we have a picture of it.
I don't think I put it up there.
Diana Vada was here, and Bert, who is responsible for making sure it hit the store and that it tastes exactly the way it was created.
Yes.
And we have the mac and cheese and the mac and cheese, chili mac and cheese boxes mounted there. It was its own little celebrity in the space. And, you know, someone asked me, why would we showcase it during Women's Wednesday? I'm like, well, who do you think buys everything, honey? if the mama don't like it, it's not being bought.
Don't forget the greens.
Oh, yeah, but the greens aren't for sale yet. No,
Oh, okay.
No
My-
need to
I'm
have
sorry.
these people away
I'm
from
sorry.
me at the back door of the studio and try to beat me up. That's not happening. But the greens were off the chain. They
Yes.
tasted just like the greens in the store.
Yes.
So I thought it was great. It was really special that we could talk about Roscoe's at Home on our show because of Roscoe's, as I've already stated, in the Roscoe's family, Pitbull, Roscoe's at Home, Pitbull Boxing, Pitbull Racing, RMC On Air, Roscoe's Media Center. We were able to have all the venue we wanted that week.
Yes.
And it was wonderful. And I thank God for them. And I thank God for them just stepping up. Seabird Jazz Lounge is also part of the Roscoe's family in Long Beach on Broadway. And because of Seabird Jazz Lounge, on Wednesday night, we were able to sit down and listen to these women jam. We had a wonderful time at the Seabird Jazz Lounge, and we had some special guests,
Yes.
women that rock, and they rocked it. Trailer Park Rebels were in the room, and I was stunned. I met them that morning. This is a picture of them now, Trailer Park Rebels. I met them that morning, or was it the day before, at a taping for Easy Way TV, Eric Zuli doing it at the Easy Way. And because they were here, and I listened to them sing, I mean, there was just a guitar, and they're all family. I just love them. I fell in love with them. And they were like, we just drove in from Utah. We ain't never been here before. I said, really? I said, do you want to have fun with me this week? And they were like, sure, Miss Tina. I was like, okay, it's on.
I just got to say, their voice, I mean, they really could sing. I mean, another
They
accent's
could
deserving.
sing. They could sing.
They could sing. And I mean, they had me from the first song to the second song. So every time I heard them sing, it was worth it.
Yeah, even when they were doing the warm-up song about
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I fell in love with them. But, you know, the song we were listening to coming in from the break, which was Lindsay, and I want you to see if I could put this up the right way this time. I think it was upside down. Lindsay Hundley, Lady Jazz. Lindsay Hundley. I mean, this little chick right here
Amazing.
shocked me. I mean, she shocked me. That's all I can say. She's so cute. And she's like, hi, how are you, Tina Michelle? I'm Lindsay. And I'm like, hi, Lindsay, how are you? She's like, I'm going to play a little bit of something. What do you want to hear? I'm like, whatever you want to hear. It's your world, baby. She said, okay. And then she sat down in front of the grand piano and she leaned in. That's all I can say. And it was a wrap.
I remember Elton John said something on the lines once of some people play the piano like a piano, and then some people play it like a drum. She played it like a drum. She was just hitting it.
I mean, and then she's bouncing and everything else. I'm like, it's this little chick bouncing. I have such an appreciation for musicians and for music. I just loved her to pieces. I had so much fun with her. So we had Lindsay there, and then we had this gorgeous little young lady, Bernice, who was the 2013 Independent Artist of the Year. And this girl rocked it.
I can't believe the voice that comes out of that little body. I mean, she is amazing. I love her voice.
Oh, yeah. And I want to thank Tony and the crew over there at Seabird Jazz Lounge. .com that opened up their doors so we can have this private VIP concert with these beautiful women that rock. That was our Wednesday night on Social Media Week. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to finish up the week, which is, God, we did a lot that week.
Hump day.
Yeah.
We made it through hump day.
We made it through hump day. Thursday and Friday, that's when it was really on.
Gracias a Dios for hump day.
Yes, yes. It was crack-a-lacking up in this space, but it was wonderful. We had so much fun. You know, people don't get it. They're like, Tina, it's so much work, but you don't get it. I love it.
Yeah.
With each challenge, with each opportunity is an opportunity. With each challenge, I found an opportunity. With each opportunity, I found a new energy. When I found the new energy, then I found a new solution, and it just kept feeding each other. It's cyclic. It's not about me. It was about people having the best experience possible in the space. Everyone, from the people who worked with me, to the people who came in to participate, to the people who supported me. I wanted everyone to have the best experience possible. And because of that, I was completely jazzed.
It was a fun. It was a fun.
It was a
week.
lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We'll be right back here on Tina Speaks. Lindsay, you are a bad young lady, and this again is Lindsay Hunley,
Jamma.
Lady Jazz. The girl puts her foot in it, doesn't she?
She's a bad mama jamma.
I love that little chick. She's so unassuming, just so unassuming.
Yeah.
She's just, hello, I'm Lindsay Hunley. I'm just nice to meet you.
Well, I'll say that you could see there's something special. There's something, because she is kind of like quiet, reserved, but you just know there's something. But yeah, she's bad.
That is a bad chick. If you haven't figured it out, go ahead and Google Lindsay Hunley, Hundley, Lady Jazz. That's what we've been listening to. I believe that was track 2 now, The Journey.
You won't regret it.
And she took us on a journey that night, and she was just a consummate musician and a wonderful woman and professional, and she actually knew the boards really well, which helped us a lot during production of that live presentation. But now we are going fast forward to Thursday. Okay, again, most people only did a 2-hour presentation during the entire week of Social Media Week. No, Tina Michelle decides that she wants to do something every day. I want the whole week. I want all of it. I want it all. Is that spoken like an only child?
New Yorker.
Or an only child, right? I want
Yeah.
all of it. I want it all. Mine. No, I really wanted to have the full Social Media Week experience. And what's the point of Social Media Week if it's a social media moment? I wanted Social Media Week, and I was able to even watch some other events that were pretty hot. There was a Twitter event in Los Angeles that was pretty hot here that I thought was really meaningful, telling you how to use Twitter. And I mean, there were some great events all week, so kudos to socialmediaweek.com for everything that they produce worldwide, from here to Lagos, Nigeria. You're talking about worldwide. But in our little world here in Los Angeles, we had the theme of real social, real hope. Now, right? Real social, real hope now. And one of the things that I started the show with talking about, and I don't know how much time we have because I've just been running my mouth. It's 51 minutes at this point. One of the things that we discussed at the beginning of the show was this little event that we did. The Dakar Foundation invited me to participate with Richard Gant as one of the
Yes.
hosts in May for a educational experience for science, math, and technology at Compton High School. And that event was great, but I kept thinking there needs to be something more dynamic that sort of centers the kids in their future right now so that it's sexy and sensible, and it makes them want to do something different, makes them want to stay engaged and enrolled. What was great about the event that we did for Social Media Week, it was a follow-up to something we did already. This was not a hope and a wish and a prayer. We did this thing. Right? And we were able from May to Social Media Week September to help the kids mobilize to clean Compton Creek, which was important. The teachers there, with the help of the facilitation of Dakar Foundation, has saved one of their only natural, geographical life forms in their communities. So it's awesome.
Right.
The kids understood social responsibility in that way of their natural environment, and they were able to talk about it during a forum during Social Media Week, which was that Thursday. What also happened that day was that we got to take them into the pit of the Indy 500 virtually, and they were able to see how these cars are made and how there's people who look like them making the cars and how sexy, how fun it is. They're racing the cars. Or this is how your science is going to work for you. So we gave them a virtual experience at that point of going into another space. And then we had Joe Ellis come physically. Now, this was a lot of work. Kudos to Dakar Foundation. Kudos to the principal there.
Definitely.
Kudos to all of us that busted our butt from May till September. Was it just September? Gosh, it feels like that was 3 or 4 weeks ago to come into the space and do that. But something happened in between that time. I did an interview with this organization called UpFest that our beautiful Dr. Copeland brought here. Dr. Copeland, who is the Tina Speaks, Tina Michelle International Education Advisor,
Thank you very much.
who is now here with us in the space. She introduced us to these amazing people. They were low riders, Harley riders, solo riders, all in the room talking about we gather like 2,000 to 3,000 people at a time riding for peace. That's what UP stands for, United in
Yes.
Peace. Girl, I think them being there brought the whole event down. I mean, they were like,
Yes.
you ever see Eddie Murphy do the talent show and Coming to America, Sexual Chocolate? It was like Sexual Chocolate. The end. End the show. Roll credits. They had other things planned after that. They were like, "There's nothing else to say."
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk about your experience there, Dr. Copeland.
It was excellent. I mean, it's just they haven't printed the word hasn't been printed in the dictionary yet.
Well, and you know a
Because-
lot of words because you're a teacher
Yes,
emeritus.
definitely.
Extraordinaire.
Exactly. I really, really enjoyed just seeing the children's faces, first of all. Just seeing
They're
how
excited.
excited
They were not bored.
Exactly. I enjoyed myself. I personally enjoyed the hookup that we had to the screen that let us see another class that's like Indianapolis. They're so far away where there's a teacher doing the same thing. People who are excited, just like you are, about helping these students get to where they need to go in life.
And see, and
help
that
them
was social
experience.
impact. We took our live stream
That's it.
and went to other classrooms and brought other kids into the same
Other kids,
experience.
yes.
And then brought them into the pit, brought them into the auditorium there at Compton High School, which there was a lot of kids there on their own free time.
Definitely.
Really watching
Yes.
what was going on. And then talk about the people you brought with
Well,
with you.
attending with us that day, we had one of the co-chairs of the United in Peace Upfest, Tony Mohammed.
Yeah, can we go back to that picture for Upfest, please?
We actually had, I'm trying to see the picture. We actually had
So that was Thursday.
Mystery, our lead writer, which was, I think she was standing on the back row. If we have that picture where we all were sitting down.
Yeah,
and
there
then they
it's
were
right
on the back
there.
row.
Yeah, we have right there. We have you with the flag.
Yes,
Upfest.
that's the Upfest flag.
That's
we have our
right.
official flag.
And the color is orange.
And the official color is orange.
Yes.
And we had also riding with us the vice president of the International Lowriders Association.
That was the
Dre,
gentleman, Dre,
Mr.
behind
Dre.
us.
Yes, we did. And let's see who else we have over there. Let's see. Can you see? Do we have another woman?
Yeah, there's mystery behind us.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, the preacher. Talk about the preacher. The preacher that rides on the bike. That's
Yes.
a member of one of the lowriders. I mean, one of the motorcycle clubs.
Yes.
Pastor Powell.
Pastor Powell. And you know, what's
Yes.
interesting, of course, Minister Muhammad being so formidable in the community and representing probably, I think he says everything beyond the Dixon line for the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
But also being a mainstay in community. And of course, his the co-president, who is the co-founder again.
The co-founder is Johnson, Alfredi Johnson.
Freddie Johnson.
There are two of them.
Pastor. The pastor.
Yes, he's a pastor also.
That's right. So you have these different faiths coming together
Yes.
to save our
Yes.
kids, which was absolutely amazing. And then the speech that he gave, I was just like,
Oh, yes.
oh my gosh, how
Yes.
fascinating. I mean, we have a few more pictures there. What was awesome, we have the low riding. Do you have the low riding pictures up there?
Yes.
Okay, I want to see those. What
We-
we did was we took the kids out for our present. So I said, I have a present for my children because we adopted the school, right? They didn't know what we were going to tell them. Well, this is what they got to see. They went out to see the cars bouncing. They got to see the lowriders, and they got to hear about the science behind the hydraulics
Oh,
for
yes, yes.
the cars. These kids, it was breathtaking for them. This is one of the vehicles that we saw. There was one that was like literally on its side. It was literally on its side. It was amazing. Do we have any more pictures from?
Yeah, because I mean, if anything, I could say the kids. That
Look
was
at that
probably
one.
yeah, definitely one of the highlights. And I mean, the kids are out there; they're oohing and awing and looking at. Because I mean, you don't ever really get to see them up close unless you go to a lowrider show. And a lot of kids maybe they can't or they can't, get a Saturday or know how to get there. So to see it up close for them, I know is big.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was humongous. So
Yes.
I think we gave them an experience that they will never, never, never forget.
And what was interesting is that today I was covering at a different school, and a gentleman walked up to me and says, "Oh, Dr. Copeland, I saw you there." So I was thinking that he was talking about our last Upfest where we were. He was not. He says, "No, I saw you at the school
At
the
Compton."
Compton." I said, "What are you doing seeing me at Compton? You go to another school. You go to Santee. He said, "Oh, my cousin told me about it, and I came up to watch."
Yeah.
Wait, they ditched school to go to another school?
Yes, he went to another school. So don't ask me what he was doing. But
But that's awesome because the impact is still a
catching.
trip, and we
Catching
we
on.
don't know how deep
don't
it is.
know.
So to be able to take UpFest, which is one of my favorite jobs. Did you know one of my favorite jobs as a facilitator? Because that's all I am, is a facilitator of change, right? Transformational conversations and relationships, is to bring UpFest together with Dakar Foundation and Compton High School for that event.
okay,
That
that's-
was.
it's done yesterday.
I was like a proud mommy, right? I'm like I get a present for my kids. I can't wait to tell them what I got for them. And it's like, okay, finish with your talking head stuff. Yeah, whatever. Shut up. Let's go outside. You know, it's like when you know you've got for your kids like this present that they
Exactly.
really, really want for Christmas,
Yes.
and you give them like the pencil first to open, and then the sock first, and they're like, "Mom didn't even think about me. I don't have."
they want to see
nothing."
the main attraction.
They
the
would have
main
seen the main,
event
they
that
didn't
you
even
got.
know that there was something other than what we showed them, and they were happy with it. They were happy the way it was. So that was just like the cherry on the sundae of their experience.
And respectful. I have to admit that. I mean, that many teenagers at a high school.
Their
I mean,
auditorium was
regardless.
full.
And just they came out and they respect the cars. They respected the people. I mean, it was a great experience.
And then you have beautiful Mystery in her bike. I don't know if we have a photo of her, but
Friday we do.
The girl is hot. She is off the meter because of the fact that, you know, she is the road captain. And I told her, I said, I mean, she must be like 5'4". She's petite, and she's got this pink and green bike that is so off the chain. And she's given me, I think, my first lesson on
Oh,
riding,
great.
solo riding motorcycles on the 25th. So I'll be ready for UpFest on October 27th.
Okay.
So she is ridiculous. She is absolutely hot, and I love her to pieces. But the chick is fire. She is the road captain. She tells people where to drive.
She handles it.
She handles that, and I think she'll be handling. How many vehicles are we expecting on the 27th of October?
On the 27th, I would say at least 300 low-rider cars and at least anywhere from 600, 700 motorcycles.
She's a boss.
At least.
She's a boss. You gotta love her. She's an absolute boss. So that was our Thursday during the day, and I could probably stay there and stop and not talk, but we know we had so much fun Thursday night, right, Robert?
Yes, Thursday night.
And thank you, Dr. Copeland, for making that happen for the kids. That was
Anytime.
that made me
Glad to.
happy. The principal came to me crying.
Oh,
And she said,
good.
everyone, they forget Compton. Thank you for remembering my children. So the best is yet to come. We're planning a few more things. I have a few more surprise for my babies.
Oh, okay.
Right? And we got smart boards. There's smart boards installed in the school. We're
good.
working on cameras, everything, to make sure the kids can do their thing. And we're actually working on a project we're going to be working on a project with the media department, their own reality show.
Oh, good.
Learning how to, going from instead of just stripping the car down, let's build one. There's a science in that,
Okay, definitely.
But really, you think about it, that takes a lot of technique. I'm sorry. You have to know some things, right? When you talk about a person who is hacking into a computer system, man, that's a smart guy.
Yes.
So what would happen if you made him do it on purpose so that you can make an impervious system?
You can prove this. That's true.
Okay,
That's good.
That's your best. Scientist right there. Okay, so now Thursday night,
What is it called? Social.
I made up a word and called it socioki.
Socioki.
Yeah, social karaoke. It's not a real word, but I made it up because I wanted to, and it was fun to say the least. But I got a present that day. I really believe that's what God did for me. You know what He did? I woke up that morning knowing we had so many things, so many hurdles to jump over that day. Didn't know how the timelines were going to run. Wasn't going to care about it anymore. So how it's going to roll, it's going to roll. I get there. People start talking. If they don't have their program together, it doesn't matter. The kids are going to have the absolute best experience. That was my intention. The best experience possible. They were talking. I said, give the mic to the kids, please, so that they can be engaged.
That's it.
right. And that's what happened. And the kids got more involved. But then God gives me a present on my way as I'm meditating through it. You know what He gave me a present of? My little brother was visiting from Atlanta, who I haven't seen forever, and I didn't even know he was in town.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Kevin Dean. I think he's on the screen there. That's my executive producer. Larry Witherspoon. That's Dr. Nord, my little brother's love interest. Probably the only one I actually approve of. I like her. She's a doctor and she's a musician extraordinaire. She's a doctor of music and performing arts, and she's an incredible talent. And I've been watching some of her stuff. She just started a fan page and I liked it. And I listened to her stuff. And I didn't even know he was here until I socialized what was going on in Compton. And I'm like, okay, everybody get ready. I'm going to go see my babies at Compton High School. He's like, no, you're not, because I'm in California. You're in California? I'm like, what? He's like, I'm like down the road. I'm like, I started crying on the phone. Here I'm driving. I'm like,
and let me say that, I mean, especially what we did with the event in Compton that day, that's a full day. That was like a lot of energy. And I know we both were just exhausted. And we were kind of tired when we got up to Long Beach.
yeah, to the Seabird Jazz Lounge.
Yes, to Seabird Jazz Lounge. But when you heard your brother was coming, and like just all of a sudden you just recharged, battery recharged, and it was like, go.
I was like,
Yes.
yeah. It's like it brought me back to being a kid and why I'm involved in all this stuff, right? And I think he did a little monologue about it, is that I was a musician, just like he is a musician, consummate musician, from Atlantic Star all the way to today. Michael Bublé, his last Grammy was for Michael Bublé. So consummate musician, but he told the truth about my musical style. People say, why don't you sing anymore? I said, I was a socio-political musician. I was not the pop it and drop it. I was, racism is wrong, and where do you have identity, and go to school, and then, and even so much go to school, I actually was worse. I actually caused riots in college campuses. I was persona non gratis on 4 campuses. Do you know that?
Public enemy.
I was, you know why? Because I said, what institution actually makes you work for 12 years? I think we have a caller calling in, for you to pay $150,000 for you to be approved by them. Get the most of your education. Don't let someone else tell you or dictate your future. I was 17 in a group called Avatar Blue.
Social change.
Social change.
Wait, sorry, say the name
My
again?
group was called Avatar Blue.
I'm sorry, I just had to have that repeated.
Yes, in 1985. Oh gosh, should I say that out loud? Egads.
Add it up.
Add it up. So he told the truth about that. I wouldn't tell people that, I was really about the music and the performance art. I could have done anything from classical to reggae to anything I felt like doing at the time, and I scored all of my music because I loved music. I loved the note, I loved every instrument, I loved it, and it had to be authentic. If it was supposed to be a bassoon, there was a bassoon in my studio. That's what I wanted, and I love music. And him and I started together as kids doing shows at the Tarrytown Music Hall, renting it out and just doing full concerts, and we're like 15, right? Literally, I'm doing dry ice on the ground, I'm burning my fingerprints off from putting the gels and the Licos and the Fresnels. I'm behind the Universal boards. I mean, I was like the manager, this and that, and then I went and ran up on the stage and go, oh yeah, start singing back up. We just did the thing, right? And it was good because my mom could kick us out at that point, because at the time we just took over her house. Now we took over the music hall, and then we went to other venues, and then he started to produce for Andre Harrell, which became Uptown Records, which then became Motown, and that was the history of it. I believe the word hip hop was actually developed in the rooms that we were in.
Okay.
So I was so proud to be with him, my baby brother, for Soshioki Night, and he was our guest judge, and we had some of the best singers in the space. All I can say is that these little cats in Long Beach can blow.
Okay.
Right?
We got some pictures, yeah, definitely.
We got some pictures of the night. Do we have someone on the line holding? Who's on the line? Priscilla?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not Priscilla. The one right in the chains.
Adrian?
Yeah.
Is that Adrian? Okay, let Adrian. Hey, Adrian.
Man, Majama.
Hey, how are you?
How are you? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Adrian Ashley. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Thank you for singing me happy birthday. I love it. My face just turned all red and I'm blushing.
That's hard to do considering she was trying to make Shane Sparks her bra.
Oh, my God. That was so much fun, let me tell you. Yeah, he's like, don't be certain nothing you can't finish. I'm like, oh, honey, I can finish. And he ran.
He's like, retreat. It was
so much fun. Oh, my God.
Robert's blushing again.
Wait, is he blushing?
He's blushing. And I can tell. Yeah, you can tell. He doesn't turn red. He turns purple.
So cute.
Yeah, we're going through the social media week in review. You can see we got a lot done, but we showed your video, girl.
I haven't even seen my video.
Well,
I want to see it. Oh my God. I had so much fun. I'm so sorry that I did not get to Socioki Week. But I was working on my Adele, let me tell you. I'm at a restaurant right now, so I'm not going to bust
I was
it
going to
out.
say,
but-
you owe me. You owe me. You and I were supposed to hit that note that night. We had it all cultivated for that night. So
Well,
we're gonna,
I know. You know what? We'll do it live. I'm going to be down. Apparently, I'm going to be down for award season. Like, I'll practically be living in LA for 3 months. So we will definitely do it.
Okay, we'll do it, and we got to do part two of Shane Sparks, and this time I'll get my dance lesson in too. Remember what we
yeah.
called? Remember what did we call our reality piece?
Work your twerk.
Work your twerk.
Let me tell you, my twerk was sore for days, Shane. You totally worked it. Like, and I came home, and people were like, "You're what?"
Can we talk about? Can you say that? I mean, can you say that? Yeah, she worked her twerk, and her last name is not Cyrus. She did a fantastic job.
Really great job.
She did a great job. I'm really proud of her. And then we said we're going to do our dance lesson together and then shoot it for reality. I think someone else is calling it now. Shoot it for reality with Shane, me, and Adrian, and we're going to call it Menage a Trois Dance.
Oh yes,
Us
so
three.
fun.
It's going to be so much fun, so much fun. But that night we actually did Socioki, and we have some of the pictures here. And I wish we had some video clips, but these were some bad people. Amazing vocalists, right, Robert?
Yes, I mean it was again and again. Occasionally you get someone not as great, but they were wailing and they were just going off. It was really amazing.
We had a young lady singing a song from Dreamgirls, and most people, you would look at her, she looks so regular and she's so gorgeous, but she doesn't have a lot of makeup on. She's super, super tall, but when she opens her mouth, that is a diva extraordinaire. I mean, she sang. That's all I can say.
I think
and she
it's-
sang. Are we queued for a video from Socioki?
Oh.
Not yet? Okay, well, we had a great time. So people chimed in, and then Jay, who is the actual host of Seabird Jazz Lounge Thursday night karaoke, she actually had some videos uploaded through social media, and those videos were to be shown on the stream while we're doing Socioki. So we got to showcase other people from other venues. And I want to do it again. I want to do Socioki all over again. I think we have a clip now of Socioki. Robert, what are we watching?
The song from Dreamgirls, and she was just wailing, and it's just a little bit of judges feeling it.
Just the judges feeling it?
I was
Okay.
going to say I got to jump off, but I wanted to just call in and say hey, and I'm going to check you guys out on the stream when I get back.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, lovely. Can't wait to see you
Thank you.
again. That is Adrian Ashley, the host of The F Word. She is fantastic and a force to be reckoned with. So now we're getting ready to watch our little video. And this is what she calls herself Amazon. I don't know if we can get any audio on this here, but this chick had us like catching flies. She is fantastic. I mean, to the point where Larry, our executive producer and one of the partners of
yeah.
RMC, threw his hat. Did he throw his hat or a napkin?
He threw his hat.
He threw his hat. Now he loves his hats. He don't let go of them hats. Okay, he loves his lids. All right, threw his hat at the chick because the girl hit the note. Let's watch the video. Bring it to me. Child was bad. That child was bad. Woo! Oh my gosh! I think we have somebody else calling in, but we'll check and see who that is in a minute. All I can say is that we saw some singers that night, and Kevin. I mean, even Kevin, who's heard some of probably the top vocals around the world, was like, "Dang."
Yes.
She had heart. I mean, all of them. We have a young man that sings every week with us. We call him Qmon. And what I love about him is that boy is diligent. He is diligent. Every week he perfects his skill set. Every week he finds a better song to perform. And so I like karaoke. I used to be sort of a karaoke snob, like I'm a real singer, like I don't do that. But I love karaoke because it gives people the opportunity, one, to be in community, do what they love, and they're really serious about this thing. Don't misjudge one of these folk.
They weren't playing.
Oh my gosh, they'll be waiting for you, lurking, stalking you on Facebook, waiting to jack you digitally. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, we had some great singers that night. Of course, we have the testimony of the karaoke at SeabirdJazzLounge.com is that we have a contest there.
That's what I wanted to know.
And
What happens in the winners?
Their contest, and right now they're winning, smaller prizes, but they're winning cash. It's gas money and food, right? But then, when we do our bigger contest, you're talking about $1,000 grand prize. So we had a young man that came with us actually Friday night. We'll see in a few minutes on the red carpet. Because of this event, he did not want to sing. He was very shy. He's been through a lot of different things when it comes to music, and so we convinced him to sing. And then his mama said, if he sings here just one time, you got to take care of my baby. I promised her I would take care of her son. He won. So he came in not even wanting to do the contest at all. Marcio, his new project, I want to say, which I wish I don't have it here with me, is called Marcio 24. Now, he won the contest. He won the $1,000 thanks to RMC and Facebook and everything else. And then after winning the $1,000, he created a demo. After the demo, he created a video, and I took him on the red carpet with me for our Friday night event, and he performed live.
Yes.
You see, that's the stuff dreams are made of. I have my boy getting ready to populate the space with me, D-Nice. How you doing, baby? You come on this side.
He's actually in the video, too.
He's actually in the video. He came and hung out with us during Socioki. And I think you're actually on the red carpet, right?
Yeah.
On Friday night. He's also an artist. So, we'd love to make sure he's there. He was introduced to us by Easy Way TV, Eric Zuli. He's now part of our family. D-Nice is cousin now. He's now cousin them to the Tina Speaks Show family. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Tina?
I'm good. We're doing Social Media Week in Review right now. And boy, I thought I could get this done in an hour. So I guess I need to try to wrap it up real quick. I don't know if I'm getting a kill signal from the producer. But no, I mean, we had an incredible week, and we just finished talking about Socioki, which that night was hot singers in the space. Did you make it that night?
I did make it that night, and it was spectacular.
Right? It was banging. It was wonderful. And so the testimony that I just gave is that Marcio competed during our major competition, won the $1,000, created a demo or APK that you would not believe it's hot. He's got a single on there called Superman that is going to have women all over the country lose their ever-loving minds. He's a crooner in today's fashion, right? And then he made a music video in Arizona, my home space, and we'll be seeing that video soon. But that was because of the Seabird Jazz Lounge karaoke night. Okay. So we will be doing another major competition like that for a little bit of a larger purse, probably in January. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of fun. But now we're going to fast forward to Friday. Friday, we did Social Media in Review in studio a little bit. We talked about some of the things that we did, and we talked a little bit more about the musicians that were there on Wednesday night for the virtual stream. So Lindsay was there live on Friday. And we played some more of her beautiful music. She is just awesome. But we also had Mystery stop by, right? Right. There goes Mystery in her motorcycle. This is my teacher. She's going to teach me to ride before the 27th for Upfest, and she is the hotness. She is the hotness. I said, that bike is hot. The jacket, I must have the jacket. I just need, if I don't ride the bike, can I just stand next to the bike with the jacket? That's okay with me. I'm fine with that. Okay? I have no problem. No, but she's great. She is the road captain for Upfest. That means all those vehicles that are in the space. I think they said the most vehicles they had at a time was 3,000 or so. And she plots the route, decides who can ride, who cannot ride, controls the cars, the Harleys, and the solo riders, and gets them from one place to the next while standing up for peace the whole time. Standing up for peace. And that's what UPFEST stands for, United in Peace. So she is actually that chick. But Friday, we were in the studio and we were talking to Lindsay. We had the Trailer Park Rebels sing live. It was hot. And then we had to shut it down to get ready for one of our final events. We did it twice. Now I don't have the footage for the second one. It might be on the desktop. We'll figure it out. But the red carpet, the Rooftop 3100 red carpet, which was an announcement of strategic partnerships between companies and community and media, which that was just sexy within itself, right? So you have the event that was hosted by Black Pearl Media Group, right? In the Black Pearl Media Group, joined by RMC On Air, joined by Easy Way Television, all together making a consortium of media companies committed to distributing our content worldwide. That alone speaks volumes, right? And then you had other companies like Prime Win, who is a new partner for us here, which is a great sponsorship opportunity. And I think there was one more company, can't remember them. But we have a chance to really sort of come together and all be on the same stage as CEOs and leaders in community. There's some great music there, too. There was a young lady there from India, Sahiba.
I have
Saiba.
pictures of her on
Saiba
on
is
the red
ridiculous. Let's scroll through some of these pictures and then we'll just
actually a
talk
video.
about it.
It's a video with all the picture, video slideshow.
Okay, so are we going to watch a video now?
Yeah.
Tell us what we're going to watch.
Pretty much what we're going to watch is it's a video slideshow of the red carpet. A video slideshow of the red carpet. So it's kind of it has a picture of who's about to walk on to the carpet and then some pictures of them. So I try to get as many of the actors and actresses and then as much of the RMC crew as possible. And then I took a couple of pictures from inside when a couple of the people were performing. And the last clip will be of your speech on stage.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, let's roll the videotape. The digital tape. That's Robert Z, in case y'all want to know. Terry? Who is that, Robert?
One of the comedians, David, and then let's see, Marilyn, and just some of the actresses. So just going down, like I said, I just took video. I put the pictures of the different actors and actresses, and then put the name in front. So some of them are from CBS shows like what's that? Criminal Minds, Castle.
We had a fantastic event, didn't we?
Yes, it was wonderful.
This is our punctuation for Social Media Week, and then we had an extended event with Eric Zuli, whose event was ridiculous, sitting here in this space. But we all came together here as a note of community. That is Rebecca Cruz,
yes,
and she sang that night. She did a wonderful
Killed
job.
it.
She has a jazz project that's beautiful. Most people know that she is Terry Cruz's wife, and that's Saiba.
Yes.
She is beautiful. That chick rocked it. That was Shakira Beyonce with a little bit of Pujami in the middle of it. She was no joke. And that is, it went too fast. Those are our partners. Wow, and there goes Marcio 24. And who's coming up next?
See Jacqueline.
We had a pretty sexy red carpet event, didn't we?
Very.
Yeah,
We
very
had a
sexy.
really sexy red carpet event.
Okay, so Criminal
So
Minds.
fun.
So this is.
Yeah.
She was fun. She was fun.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun.
Real
we had
energetic
fun. Yeah,
and
very energetic.
funny.
Yes.
Now I feel bad because I remember the brother on the left, but I can't remember for what movie.
There's a lot of celebrities in this space.
Yes.
And like I said, you see the Pitbull sign behind that. We really worked hard to make sure everybody had a great experience. But I mean, we basically,
Oh, here we go. Here's our team.
this is our team.
Yes.
There we go, our
Yes.
Pitbull girls in the house.
Yes.
And Marcio.
Ooh, she's
and
killing it. She's
me
killing the
with
red
my little
carpet.
dress.
Always looking
There's
beautiful.
Eric Zuli. There he
Zuli,
goes. There he goes.
Zuli.
Easy TV. There goes Nick, our partner, me and Eric.
So many
again.
pictures.
So many pictures. There goes Larry Witherspoon, our executive producer. Woo, woo, woo. And there goes the Trailer Park Rebels.
Rebels.
Thanks.
And they were like, "We never been to a red carpet. What is it gonna be like?" I'm like, "Just watch, baby." You said you never. There goes Michael Collier. He came down with because I asked him to come and host, and he just did. He just no questions asked. Someone
Great
with such a
job.
legendary brand. He came and did a wonderful job at the event. Very proud of everyone there.
Former Miss Great Britain.
Yeah, Miss Great Britain was in the space.
Who's that
Ooh,
guy?
that's D Nice.
D-Nice.
D Nice.
There you go.
I didn't know you'd be there, huh?
Here's some of
He's
the.
laughing at himself. Thank you, Saba. She's there, Saiba. And that's Michael Collier live.
And then I think you're up next with
Michael
your
Collier
speech
again.
on stage. I don't know. Can they hear the video?
Do you hear the video?
Okay, because it's about to come up right after this little clip. Which
Oh
should be
yeah,
about-
there it goes. There goes the family, and them sitting there chewing gum. My mother would be so mad. That's Chris Black, the CEO of Black Pearl Media Group.
I'm grateful for us
And
being here
Param.
today because, as you know, we celebrated Social Media Week 2013 all week from Monday till today with you as our grand finale, demonstrating global partnership, global hope, global change. So we here at RMCOnAir.com, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Pitbull, as well as Pitbull Boxing, Pitbull Racing, that's who we're representing in partnership here. We're very proud to be able to sit here and say that we are the originators and producers of probably the most urban content independently through RMC On Air in less than a year. So we're very happy to be here. We're very proud to be here with our new family members. Thank you, Eric Zilli, for making it happen, Easy Way TV. And we hope that you're going to continue to have a good time. We have a gift for you tonight with a song from one of our artists, a cappella, singing Change, that we'd like to present to you before the night is over. Thank you so much.
She's a boss.
Yes, she is.
That makes you feel all full again, because it is a representation of community and not commisery. And we hear so many times that our people, brown and black and brown skinned people, cannot work together. And I don't believe that. Were there hiccups in the road that week? Yes, there were hiccups. But, you pat it on the back and, it comes up and you keep it moving. It's not like you're going to stop breathing or something. Just keep it moving.
Get over it.
Get over it. And I think we got to see a lot of the partners come together and figure out ways to get past whatever, even when everyone's in a stress zone, right? Everyone is trying to really work and get their companies moving. But my number one focal point was hope and community. This facility, Roscoe's Media Center, RMC On Air, it was created to be the voice of community, because radio was always our drumbeat, right? For so many years. For us not to have local radio is almost like to not have a voice. So I love the vision of the founder of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and Mr. Larry Witherspoon, Media Moguls, to create not just the place to record, but we have the distribution also. We have the distribution. It's not like we are hoping, wishing, and praying. We got several distribution partners to make sure that this content goes out to millions of eyeballs, millions, and that makes me very, very proud.
Good.
Because when you have the airwaves, then you really do have the voice of the people. And I don't think that all the time, us in media actually are that responsible with truth in journalism anymore. So we have the opportunity to really tell the truth and let people tell the truth for themselves. We don't have to tell it for them. So that was the whole week, and we have a partner, Eric Zuli, that I really want to mention. Easy Way TV. He had a red carpet extended on Sunday, and I had to go handle this little piece of business, God's business, on Sunday morning. I went all the way home to Arizona and went and got ordained.
That's right. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's such a road since 2008. I literally sat myself down from ministry in 2008, in 2007 actually. I realized I was going through a pretty hard divorce and transition, and what I didn't like was ministers and leaders who bought people, sold people this bag of tricks based on their bitterness and hatred and lack of cure. And I figured the world did not need another bitter black woman telling them what to do. So let me sit down. And that's what I did. And thanks to very good friends, my very best friend, I was able to sit down literally and heal for a year. And ask the hard questions. Who am I? Who is God? Do I really believe this? Why do I believe it? What's the evidence? And what is my health? And how am I impacting the world? And why am I doing what I'm doing? I literally had that time facilitated for me, right? Where I could go deep inside of myself and ask those questions and come out. And when the opportunity came, because I said I would not pursue it, I said, God, if you're telling me to do television media all over again, I've never done television, but radio was my life since I was 16 years old. Love radio. I'm not going to do this small. We're going to go from here to Outer Mongolia with a message of hope, or I will not do it at all, and I will not solicit or sell a pilot, or I will not shop a deal. I'm not doing it. I'm going to just have a conversation. And because of that, we were the first show. The Tina Speaks show was the first show that was on network television. It was the only show that network television station ever received a phone call into the station multiple times. Who is that? What is that show? Who is that? And it was great because, most people said, it's just TV radio. No one cares about that. I guess they care about the conversation. So what I'm saying from this point forward is that we'll continue, and my commitment is to continue to grow so that I can continue to show the goodness of God in my life and how we can transfer that to other people in community and hope without being freaky and knocking people upside the head. Okay? And then that's just the reality. So when the opportunity came up for ordination, I knew it was God, because I knew God said, there's a lot of people who have identities in the media space. Some of them who are my representatives are just on Christian television or Jesus television and won't come out of the four walls of their church. Where I called you to go into the marketplace and do what Jesus did. Jesus kicked it. He hung out with tax collectors and hoes and kicked it. People would have Jesus in hell if they knew really that he was relevant.
Yes.
Right.
He was relevant. He spoke the mind. He talked about the mind of the people around him. There's whole times where they said Jesus was sitting in a room in the house of such and such, and a woman with a cruse of oil came and washed his feet. Well, what were they doing? Chilling.
Yes.
He wasn't preaching.
Right.
He didn't cast no devils out that day. He had his feet kicked back and listening to what was actually happening in contemporary culture.
Community.
He was in community. Right. And so for whatever reason, that part stuck out with me for the Bible. That there has to be a way for me to represent God from even a PR perspective, where God is not hateful. He doesn't hate you. He's not trying to find a place in hell for you. He loves you. And he wishes that you prosper, and above all things, he wishes that you be whole and healed and prosper above all things. He's not really trying to find a way to condemn you. And one thing that always stuck out, and this is not supposed to be a sermon, but this is what I was raised with. I was raised in the Missionary Baptist Church in Tarrytown, New York. One thing that always stuck out to me, that the first scripture that we teach our children is John 3:16, that God so loved. But yet we spend so much time in these institutionalized religions and systems showing anything except for the love of God.
That's true.
Because he loved, he gave himself, and because he loved, we give of ourselves. So we're hoping to be here as a voice in community. We have a wonderful woman, Melissa Stansfield, I believe that's how you say her name, who started her show, and she will be the voice of community for the Los Angeles area. So people tune in to rmconair.com on Wednesday nights from 6:30, I believe, on to hear what's happening locally in Los Angeles. And if you have any announcements that you want to submit to Melissa, please make sure that you hit her up. I don't remember the name of her show, but if you go onto the website, rmconair.com, you'll definitely be able to catch it. Brian, do you remember the name of her show? Ion Community or something like that. But support the local community as we're continuing to grow in the global community. Community with me, with Melissa. She is wonderful. So bring your announcements, everything locally, because that's just as important. And it is relevant to those who don't live here, because we are hoping to be a model worldwide, that what we do here, you will duplicate there. All right? So Sunday was pretty much an amazing day, because I sat there and my pastor said, I send you out into the entertainment industry and do you and represent us. And it was wonderful. And then my little ambitious self said, I'm going to get back in my car and go to Easy's event. I'm going to drive because I couldn't get a flight. And I get to the stop sign right in front of where my church is, and I'm like, I said, I'm going home, I'm going to bed. And so I did. And then, I was so jealous. I was like, I wish I was there. I wish I was there having so much fun. But I would have missed it anyway. I would have been under that little, table right there, curled up in a ball, knocked out. And I say that because I used to do that as a kid. My parents were musicians, and I used to sleep under the board. They would find me sleep under the board anywhere. I'd be like, just sleep. And they're jamming, loud music. So I'm so proud of all the partners that are here represented for Social Media Week. We are going to do it again, February 2014. So you will be seeing the information on hopesocially.com, which is the site that I created for Social Media Week. We're going to update it, and we want to make sure that we post anything that we want to include in our journey up until then. And we'll be looking at launching a conversation also called The Real Journey, which is a reality conversation, a reality formatted conversation about how to reboot your life. And that's what I'm doing. I'm rebooting my life in front of everyone because I want people to understand the questions they need to ask themselves. A lot of times we in media are experts and we're not students. And I really like to describe myself as a forever student. So I'm going to ask the question about health. I'm going to ask them the question about money, how do you create love? How do you sustain this in your life? And speak to some of the smartest people on the planet about it. And, and create the strategy and the system so people will have a blueprint to execute where they are, right where they are. Because that's what I love to do, because I'm a coach and a facilitator of change. That's what I like to do. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. I've had such a great time on the show. My executive producer has a lot of editing to do now. This is an hour show. Or not. But Priscilla, I know she was on, and I don't know if she's still on. I love you. Thank you for your support.
I'm here, Mama.
Thank you for your support. And thank you so
Always.
much.
Thank you for your support.
I adore you, and I'm thanking you that you've given me some stuff that tastes really nasty but makes me feel better.
It doesn't taste nasty. Don't
No
lie.
pain, no gain.
No, without the bananas. I needed bananas. Yesterday she gave it to me with just berries, and I don't like
That's the
blueberries.
Latina in you.
It would just have blueberries. So, it's not against you, really. It's about, nature. I don't like blueberries. But it made me feel good. And we're going to be continuing that conversation about health on her show, Mission Nutrition. I'm very excited about that. So everything here at rmconair.com, all you have to do is go to the website and click on the shows, the channels, and why don't you browse? See Michael Collier, see Zoe Williams, see Easy Way TV. There's a lot of shows here that I am, again, proud to say that we are the top originator of urban content in less than a year.
Wow. Wow.
Kudos.
Wow.
Kudos to RMC On Air. Kudos. And something, the visionary, my executive producer, Larry Witherspoon, has always had a heart for technology, always had a heart for community. And I remember us driving down the street, and he said, I did my first after-school program right down the street, like umpteen years ago. So for him to still be doing that, it's authentic. So we invite you to come and see what's happening here. If you have something that's interesting to talk about, not just garbage, we can hear that anywhere. Interesting to talk about on this platform, then by all means come down here and check us out. RMCOnair.com is located on 5047 West Pico Boulevard, inside the Brownstone Bistro. You got to say hello to Chef Jackson, too, because he makes some fabulous food. When we're done with our show, we go and nosh. Nosh. Yum with yummies. So we're going to sign out now, and this is Tina Michelle, Tina Speaks. I want you to catch our programming as much as you can, as much as possible. And remember, this show is interactive. You must be involved. This is context, not content. Tell me and ask yourself, who do you need to be to do it today? We advise you to get into action about everything in your world. And because you see it here and you see someone else doing it, Robert, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you very
He's
much.
usually on the other side.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. If you see it here, that means you can get it done. Make the plan and execute. The one thing I'm going to leave you with a final word on is the word hope. We said hope in action, right, for Social Media Week. And here's the guideline for hope that I believe that God dropped in my spirit. So it's not out here in the ether, like hope is far, far away. It's not coming. The Bible says the hope deferred makes the heart sick. But when you show results, like what we did at Compton High School, show results with letting people be seen worldwide in Sochioki, you're actually helping people have their hope in action. So what I ask people to do is when they see these things, whether it's I want to sing or I want to dance with Shane Sparks or I want to help the school, ask yourself, how does it make you feel? Do you actually feel that inside of you? Do you feel a passion, even a jealousy? Sometimes it starts as a jealousy. I want to do that. Okay, well, if you really want to do that, then go to the O, which is own it. Say, I want that, and I can have that. Then you have to, again, personalize it. You can't just say, I want that, I'm going to have it, but you got to figure out how you're going to execute. So you're going to personalize. Am I going to do this in my personal time? Am I going to go to an organization? Am I going to get classes? What phase of this desire am I at? And let me personalize it. And then the final part is the E. Execute. That is hope in action. That's what I hope we demonstrated this week, a social media week, and we do this every day here in the studio. Hope in action. We have people working here that are living their dreams. Ryan is a music producer. I just had to mention that. And the boy can sing, and one day I'm going to get him on mic and get him to sing a little something, right? Right. Mark is also a musician. So these guys are living their dreams, and it's being facilitated. And, right, you having a good time, D?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also the musician too.
I know.
Just had a show last night. You guys should come.
Really? We got to see you. We got to see you. But tonight is karaoke night. I see BridgeJazzLounge.com.
Prince. I'm going to do some more Prince.
That's right. Make no mistake. That's what we'll be tonight. Thank you guys for being with me and listening to Social Media Week in Review. It was a pretty chunky show. We tried to go through the whole week as much as we could. But again, I want to say my final gratitudes. Thank you so much for your support. Roscoe's Media Center, Larry Witherspoon, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Pitbull Energy Drink, Dakar Foundation and Dakar Interactive, Richard Gant, Compton High School, Upfast, and the beautiful Dr. Copeland that made these educational experiences real, because she is a real expert in this area, in these areas. The Brownstone Bistro, which provided our catering for our Black Tie event. Michael Collier. Gosh, there's a lot of people.
It's a full week.
It was a full week. Doreen H. Wong for being our social media mistress, who socialized everything, every moment, for the whole week. She sat there Google hanging out the whole night. She was wonderful. So, and then Kevin Clark, I want to mention his name again, Dakar Terrence from Dakar, the principal of Compton, Ms. Holloway, the director of the Science and the Math department there. There is a lot of people. Diane Vara, the director of marketing for all the properties pertaining to Roscoe's and Pitbull.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss anybody, but we had Randy Tarrant, oh my God, Project Happiness, Nestor Perez, the healing practitioner for Dalai Lama, Shelley Hunt, Success by Design. I mean, she was fantastic. And of course, Priscilla and Diana, who live here at RMC. This is their house too. With just Eric Zilli for being behind the scenes and empowering these relationships so that we can keep moving and actually coming with us to the red tie, to the black carpet. I'm saying black carpet, red carpet, black tie event Friday to finalize it. There are so many people, and as I'm saying it, I'm going, gosh, all these people came together because my little brain said, I want to hijack the whole week. I don't want to just do a little bit. I want to do all of it. So we had a fantastic time. It was fun. And again, check out rmconair.com, check out tinaspeaks.com and hopesocially.com and see how you can get involved. Get involved. Upfest is coming up here in Los Angeles. You can get involved. If it's up to me, we will socialize that event also so that you can bring hope to your community locally in the same way. And we'll be doing a powerful ride pretty soon from here to Chicago, right?
Yes, we're planning that for next year.
That's right. All right, well, thank you very much. And again, figure out who you need to be to do it today. And I will check you out later here on Tina Speaks.